Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here, back with more Let's Play Shining Force CD. Alright, so we are going to move our heavy defense characters up front. So Apis, Roos, Nick, those are going to be the guys who are going to go through the choke point first, so that we have someone of defensive capabilities in the lead, because we get to go through this choke. Alright, and so one thing that I've noticed here, this Domingo can't go on the mountains. He is not technically a flying creature. He is a floating creature. And that's going to make me harp on the game. I get that the early Shining games, there were considerable amount of limitations. There's not really a means of having a tutorial style mode or anything like that to tell you what, how land effect works. I know there's a section in the Shining Force 2 manual about land effect, and it was confusing at the time. As a child, I was reading it, I'm like, what is it trying to tell me? It was like trying to read Greek. And that's where a lot of the instruction from these games came from, the instruction manual. But we've hit an age where the instruction manual might be a little hard to come by. But nowadays, and Gaian's fantastic. The one person who does not need to be poisoned is poisoned. Alright. Probably gonna kill the ghoul. Oh no! That's fine. So, okay, what am I rambling about? Game design. And that's the thing, it's like, apparently I was somewhat chastised last time I started talking about game design, because it seemed like I wanted the game to be super easy and hand-feed me, everything that the game has to offer, which I took a little bit of exception to, because putting words in my mouth kind of pisses me off. But this is one of those instances where I can almost guarantee there was nothing in the Shining Force CD manual, because there's nothing in the Shining Force 2 manual, but the difference between floating and flying units. You get units like this that are completely unencumbered by terrain. I don't believe they are affected by the terrain bonus. I'll have to check, because as you can see, Claude gets 0% land effect, because he is a flying creature. If Domingo still gets it, then that's one thing, but it's like, okay, you can see his movement is not encumbered at all. Which is, something that really could have been shown in some official capacity that has not been shown in some official capacity. Which would have been fantastic, really. Because then you're left up to the player to figure out, okay, why does this character have such crappy movement here, but this character doesn't? Is it race-related? Is it class-related? And that's something that bothers me. Alright, so yeah, okay, Domingo does get land effect, so he is a floating creature. So he still gets the land effect bonus, but he's not encumbered by terrain. Good to know, but also would have been better if there was some... Now, granted, I don't have the Shining Force CD manual. I just remember what I saw from the Shining Force 2 manual, that, there's not really a discussion on movement or terrain. There's just discussion on land effect, which, is helpful, but then there are all of these other little things that aren't clearly defined, which are just frustrating. Like, one of my subscribers pointed out that some undead are resistant to ice. I don't know if that's all undead or some undead. I'd have to actually look into that more. But I know there's nothing in the Shining Force 2 manual. Again, there could be something in the Shining Force CD manual, but I find it really weird that that'd be something they put in Shining Force CD and not in Shining Force 2 that some enemies are resistant to certain elemental types of damage. Especially given that a lot of these spells cost more MP to cast. You would expect the spells that cost more MP are going to do more damage. But then you have resistances thrown into it, that there's not really a discussion on resistances. There's not a stat for resistance. And again, I get that this is one of the earlier strategy RPGs. There's, going to be some information that, is in the game that's not, effectively discussed. But still, that's frustrating. But again, the last time I started talking about, poor game design choices, I was getting yelled at by people who think I want something that I don't want. So all I'm saying is I really wish the Shining series in general did a better job of indicating certain things. Actually within the game itself. I understand that, at this point in time there was more emphasis on learning the game through the instruction manual. Instruction through the instruction manual. And we don't get instruction manuals these days. But still, I've been playing Shining games forever. And I've always kind of thought there's some level of resistance to some enemies, but it's never really been consistent for me to be like, okay, this is... Like, there's been no easy scientific method of being like, yes, this is completely consistent. No, it's not consistent. There is... It feels like such little consistency. And that's actually one of the things that really, really pissed me off about Final Fantasy XI. The Black Mage class in Final Fantasy XI learns spells at various level intervals. But there are enemies that are resistant or weak to certain types of elemental attacks. But if you don't have those elemental attacks, you can't take advantage of them. And then the higher level the spell, the more MP it costs. So lightning, by default, is going to be better unless there's a resistance. But if there's not a resistance, it's just one of those things that was just like, okay, lightning costs this much more to cast than stone because of how, stock was poisoned. Fantastic. At what point in time they're learned, it seems like, okay, you would think there would be a huge discrepancy. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. It's just a very obnoxious mechanic to me. And why do I keep trying to do things with Claude? I can't do anything with Claude. I can do something with you. Let's cast Blaze. I don't think I'm going to kill him, but let's cast Blaze. Nope, not doing that. Alright, let's attack you. Why not? Didn't realize Apis was already level 5, but... Cray, you don't have anything. You can... No, you're going to heal. Because stock did take a significant amount of damage. So, let's do that. So yeah, it's more a clarity. There's not a lot of clarity in a lot of this, which is frustrating. Let's kill the healer. Let's do that. I don't want the healer to be alive anymore. Because I can see him healing someone and pissing me off. And stock suffering damage from the poison, and Claude's gonna take a hit. 8 points a day. I was expecting more, but okay. It could be because Claude has the Protect Ring. Let's kill the ghoul, so that he can't poison anyone else, and level Roos up to 5. I don't know, it's one of those things that kind of gets to me because, like, obviously we have the means to give the information that we need. It's very hard to actually get the information that we need for whatever reason. So like this, unless the Minotaur was resistant to ice, I would expect Freeze 3 to do more damage than Blaze 3. I don't know what his weaknesses are. That's just going to be a trial and error thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just end this fight. Or not. I'm gonna move Nick out of the way, and I'm gonna see if I can move my healer. Because she's got Hell too. Yep, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kill him with Hell too, because why not? There we go. Fight's over. And she levels up to 5. Fantastic. I do have a couple of level 3s that I still need to deal with. Bazoo was right. You are no ordinary warriors. The Shining Force legend is true. And hey, someone comes popping out. Hey, hey! Gates! Why are you in such a hurry? They're killing the one Guardiana captive. For every one of Bazoo's soldiers you defeat. You must free them. Nick, let's go. And Gates the Gladiator has joined the Shining Force. Now, depending on what his stats are, what level he comes in as, I might switch Guyan out. Like, that might happen. Let's take a look. Status. Gates. Alright, so he comes promoted, level 3. HP of 28, attack of 43, defense of 30, agility of 14, movement of 5. With a battle axe. Alright, so not terrible stats. He is promoted, which is a step above caching. I think Gates was in Shining Force 1. I think he's one of the few characters that actually does carry over. Mostly because I feel like I made a whole bunch of Gates jokes about National Treasure and the fact that their name was Gates. I feel like that's something that I did. Either that or I'm just remembering something from forever ago that is a thing. But yeah, Gladiator. What are his stats compared to... Oh, crap. I still need to detox him. Alright, we'll do that. Alright, Roos has 36 HP, 55 attack, but he also does have a huge weapon. So 28 and 43. So not too bad. And then defense of 32, agility of 17. Defense of 30, agility of 14. So a little behind that. But let's compare him to Guyan. So 2 less HP, 3 more attack, more defense, and 1 less agility. I think I'm gonna switch out. Change. We're gonna put Gates in for Guyan. I apologize, Guyan. Like, I have a feeling you'd be a lot better if I actually was able to work you up a little bit better, but like I'm going to also give caching Guyan's to medical herbs, so I don't have to worry about buying anymore. And then I need to cast Detox on Stock so that he doesn't go into the next fight poisoned. If I can. I think I can here. Oh, I can raise Cure. Stock has been poisoned. 10 gold. Alright, that's fine. I don't care. Don't care. Alright, no one's been cursed. That's fine. I can promote, what's his face? Caching. Because he's not leveled up, but that's fine. Alright, let's save. And Do you want to continue? Yes. Alright, let's go ahead and leave. Alright, so we are in the fort now, and there's a whole bunch of ranged units, it seems. And hey, it's the tiger guy. It's been a long time, Prince Nick. You may be strong enough to defeat Bazoo, but you will not defeat me. Back off, Dantum. They're mine. A few fizzle balls and they'll be toast. Oh hey, look. Obviously a stage mechanic. That's a thing. Prince, prepare to meet your doom. We'll turn the prince into mince. Oh. That was terrible. That's Fribble, a paladin, and Dantum, a beast. Nothing special, just more of Woldol's goons. Fribble seems to have soldiers, but no wizards. Be careful, Nick. She must have hidden some traps. Alright, so let's look around this fight, because I've got a little bit of time before we need to start. Alright, there's a chest over here with a running ring. We need to get that. And then there is an item up here called the Frizzle Ball. HP of 35, attack of 0, defense of 33, agility of 18, movement of 0. The tip for this fight says, send Claw to destroy the Fizzle Ball, otherwise your magic will be blocked. So we don't have magic in this fight. We cannot cast magic while that is in play, which means I'm kind of useless with 3 characters. Domingo, Wendy, who has a Buster Shot that I need to give. I'm going to give that to Shade, and then Mayfair. Alright, let's look at the enemies that we've got. Ghouls, again. HP of 28, attack of 34, defense of 31, agility of 14, movement of 6, again with the potential to cast poison or inflict poison on a hit. We do know that for sure now. We have Brass Gunners. HP of 37, attack of 39, defense of 33, agility of 19, movement of 4. It's still really surprising that Brass Gunners do not have a weapon, that they are just artillery. That's neat to me. That's because that's something that's not consistent in the rest of the Shining series. Let's see. We've got Deadlyborn, HP of 37, attack of 34, defense of 29, agility of 15, movement of 6, with a middle sword and medical herb. I think they're starting to get outclassed. They're still using middle swords. That's a little silly. And then we've got Evil Pixies again, HP of 35, attack of 32, defense of 23, agility of 13, movement of 6. And then the Minotaur, HP of 30, attack of 38, defense of 32, agility of 17, movement of 5 with a battle axe. So, Evil Pixies, Deadlyborn, Brass Gunner, Ghoul, Minotaur, and the Fizzle Ball is what we need to deal with. The Fizzle Ball is the thing. And we have 2 paths. We have an easy path, but it takes us away from the Fizzle Ball. And then we've got a harder path that takes us to the Fizzle Ball. So we're going to take the hard path and go to the Fizzle Ball. Plus, we're going to go get the treasure chest, for one. So, that's something to keep in mind. Claude is going to be the one getting all of these items. He's going to kill the Fizzle Ball, and he's going to get the ring. So, that is our current plan. I don't know what the range of the Brass Gunners are. I would expect now that they're going to be the same as any other ranged unit, so that's going to be a thing. But as it is, we can just move forward, and we'll move up that way. It's not really that there's an easier path and a hard path. This one is a little more choke pointy, because there's choke points, but that's not necessarily easier or harder. You just have stairs that you have to contend with, and then we're not going to contend with those stairs because we're just going to have Claude fly up there. So, whereas on the other side, you don't have really any choke points to speak of. See, again, he can go where other people can't because he's floating. So he's basically floating alongside the wall, is how I'm interpreting that. So, yeah. Alright, and it's actually about time for me to end this episode, so I guess I'll go ahead and do that. And see you all in the next installment, where I'm still going to need to move people forward. And Wendy was the one with the Buster Shot, so I'll have to make a note of that. So yeah, I'll end this episode here. See you in the next installment. We'll get the ring, we'll take out the fizzy ball. We're good. So yeah, till then, later everyone.